We'll be doing Telangana history today. Okay. Last week we have completed Indian history. Okay. We have done the revision class and followed by 5 days of daily answer writing. And then yesterday we had the sectional test with regard to Indian history. So some of you have written that sectional test. That is good that you people have started serious preparation. For people who are waiting for something to happen and then start answer writing, it should be not delayed too much. Okay, I can understand, every day there is some or the other news about the prelims result, 1:100, 1:50. But please ignore. If you are a serious aspirant, just ignore. Because the commission seems to be determined. Okay, unfazed by any kind of pressures. They seem to be determined. So you should not be caught off guard. So don't start your day assuming that TGPSC will be postponed. So let me not put that effort today. I will put it on that particular day when I am clear about when it is going to happen. That will not work out. Okay. So, and if you ask anyone who has actually cracked mains, the only mantra they will say is answer writing practice. Okay. So this revision class is something which we are giving as an add-on, because most of you might be knowing Telangana history, Indian history. So our contribution would be mainly towards your guiding you in the answer writing. Okay, so our focus and our forte is guiding you people in the answer writing. So content is something which is available very much in the market. Okay, so I'm trying to squeeze something in 6 hours. So obviously we will be missing some parts of syllabus. Okay, let's be honest about it. So if you are expecting this entire syllabus to be covered in 6 hours, either I am fooling you or you are fooling yourself. So it is quick revision. So again, when we say revision, it is revision of important topics, what we feel are what we have seen over a period of time based on my mains experience or institute's experience, that there are certain high focus topics which the commissions tend to focus. Okay, tend to focus. So, and now that you have even options in your answer, that means you can choose A or B, right? So out of 15, 6 questions are mandatory, 9 are optional, if I am not wrong. And then so you have options. So our only intention is, if you are revised thoroughly in a topic, if not B, you will A. If not A, at least you will attend B. That is our intention. Okay, so, and of course, apart from what we have discussed in the class, I told you yesterday also when we were discussing the answer writing, that if you have any issue with regard to a particular topic, or if you are not finding content on a particular topic, or some topic is really evading you, or it is going over your head, which is quite possible, you can definitely reach out to us. We are there to help you. In fact, in last week itself, many of you have reached out to me personally. So I have tried to help to the best of my possibility. So that is anyhow there. So we are not confined to a wall saying that yes, this is what we have charged you for and our liability or responsibility ends there. We are not like that. So I think Dr. Vivek also reached out to you, many people, for feedback, suggestions. So we keep in touch with each other. We try to understand what is in your mind, Okay, because not every student is same, right? So we understand that. So, but when we do a group activity, it will be by and large based on the group itself. That logical understanding we need to have. Okay, so one more thing what you people understand is, when we are in a group, not everyone is in the common footing. What might be dead easy for you might be really tough for someone else. Okay, you may think, అరే ఏంటి సార్ ఇది చెప్తున్నాడు, ఇదైతే చిన్న పిల్లలకు కూడా తెలుసు అని కొంతమంది అనుకుంటారు. For him that topic might be dead easy. Arey, what is there to teach in this or revise in this? I was expecting so much from Nishanth sir. He cleared 3 mains and gave 3 interviews. So I am expecting that he will teach me only about Rafale, not about MIG. But for someone, MIG itself might be a very complicated issue. So when we are addressing, we are addressing a group, and it is generally the majority or the common people whom we are trying to address. So sometimes it may happen that some topics which are very, very familiar and easy for you might be repeated. Okay, but that doesn't mean, if something is very easy or repeated also, always better to lend your ear again, because your understanding might be slightly different from my understanding, and having gathered a lot of experience in history, my analysis may be slightly different from what you felt on the topic, right? So it's always better to lend an ear, and further, any topic where you are stuck up, you can always reach out to me personally. So that way we are open always. Okay, don't think that the 6 hours is over. So on if Indian history, if I ask something, they will say your time is up, you cannot ask a question. So we are not that rigid or that commercial, as a matter of fact. Okay, so I've been in Reflections right from its inception, maybe from 6-7 years back. So I can vouch that we are not so commercial in when it comes to helping the students. Okay, but any institute has to get on and move on. So definitely there will be something which we charge for and do it, and most of the things we do it for passion. Okay, because most of the things we do it for passion. So on that note, let's start today's so we are going to discuss about Telangana history today and tomorrow, right? So we'll be having a 3-hour session. Okay, so basically what is this 3-hour session is, we'll be revising the topic very quickly. Okay, very quickly we'll be revising the topics of Telangana history, and then I think you must have already got today's questions. Today's questions you got. So already on the first chapter, we already made some questions, and you must have got it. So try to write them, and by evening we'll be posting the model answers, and in the night we'll be having the discussion. So we are maintaining the tempo, and yeah. So if you see the syllabus, yeah, if you see the syllabus, Telangana history and culture. Okay, history and culture of ancient Telangana, especially Satavahanas, Ikshvakus, Vishnukundis, rise and growth of Jainism, Buddhism, socio-cultural conditions, language, literature, art and architecture. Then medieval Telangana and the emergence of composite culture. Please try to understand that word, composite culture. Kakatiyas, Velama kingdoms and their contribution to socio-cultural development, literature, music, dance, art and architecture. Qutub Shahis and their contribution to Telugu literature. Art and architecture, protest movements against Kakatiyas and Qutub Shahis, which is nothing but your Samaka Saraka and Sarvai Papanna. So this is mostly your ancient and medieval Telangana history. Modern kochedapadiki Asafjahi dynasty, Salarjung reforms, modernization of Telangana, socio-economic development under the Nizams, land tenures, Jagirdars, Deshmukhs, Vetti, okay, British paramountcy, Nizam, and the revolt of 1857 pertaining to Hyderabad, a role of Turebas Khan, okay, then socio-economic development and the rule of 6th and 7th Nizams, railways, transport, communication system, establishment of industries, educational institutions, monuments of Asafjahi period. Fine. Socio-cultural awakening in Telangana, Andhra Saraswat Parishad, literary and library movement, Andhra Mahasabha, social reform movement, Brahma Sabha, Arya Samaj, Adi Hindu and Dalit movement, role of Bhagyareddy Verma, Andhra Mahila Sabha and the growth of women's movement, role of Hyderabad State Congress and Vande Mataram movement. Fifth chapter, People's Movement against the Nizam rule, Adivasi movement, Ramji Gond, Kumaram Bhim, Telangana peasant armed struggle, role of Andhra Mahasabha and the communists, MIM, Razakars and Kazim Razvi, police action and end of Nizam's rule, integration of Hyderabad state into Indian Union, which happened on September 17, 1948. So, if you see the syllabus, okay, most of you must be following the Telugu Academy textbook or any standard history textbook. Those are huge. First thing is you people get demotivated. History is so huge. So I keep saying, everyone, please refer the syllabus. The moment you refer syllabus, Telugu Academy ఏదైతే ఇంత పెద్ద టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ ఉందో దాంట్లో సగం కంటే ఎక్కువ లేదు. And one common question everyone ask me wherever I go, sir రాష్ట్ర కోటాస్ ఉందా లేదా? ఉందా సిలబస్లో? సిలబస్లో ఉందా? మరి ఇంకెందుకు అడగడం? సిలబస్లో ఉన్నది, సిలబస్లో లేనిది they are not supposed to ask. As simple as that. If they are asking, you don't hang me, but they are not supposed to ask. This is the criteria for civil services and this will be criteria for any group services for which the syllabus is published by the commission itself. అట్లాంటప్పుడు సిలబస్ పబ్లిషే చేయకూడదు. If they want to ask anything under the sun, they can say Telangana history and culture. That's all. You read anywhere. So even KCR also is part of Telangana history culture only. ఎందుకంటే today's present will become tomorrow's history. Okay, so they have published the syllabus very clearly. Don't waste time on your Rashtrakutas. Okay, and then even other kingdoms also, they said mostly Velama kingdoms. Mostly Velama kingdoms. Okay, that's all. In medieval, they are asking you, if they are talking about Hindu kingdoms, they are only Kakatiya and Velama kingdoms. That's all. So, ఈ ఓరియంటేషన్ తోటి మీరు తెలుగు అకాడమీ వాట్ యూ షుడ్ డూ ఇస్, ఇఫ్ యూ ఆర్ రీడింగ్ తెలుగు అకాడమీ, యూ హ్యావ్ దిస్ సిలబస్, కీప్ ద ఇండెక్స్ ఆఫ్ తెలుగు అకాడమీ అండ్ టేక్ ది టాపిక్స్ విచ్ ఆర్ రిలవెంట్ టు యువర్ సిలబస్, రివైజ్ దెమ్ ఓన్లీ. ఓకే, ఇప్పటిదాకా చదివేసినాం సార్, గుడ్. ఇఫ్ యూ ఓవర్ ప్రిపేర్డ్ ఆర్ ఓవర్లీ రెడ్, ఫైన్, బట్ అన్ని గుర్తుండవు. ఓకే, హిస్టరీ is such a topic which is mostly volatile. After 1 month, everything will be again. If you don't touch any part of it, you will forget many things. Happened or not with you? Or you are a robot that you remember everything? Then that is great. But this particular syllabus is the Bible, and any topic which is not there in this is not there for your exam. So don't get confused. Don't complicate your preparation. So straightforward. ఇదంతా కరెక్ట్గా చేస్తే హిస్టరీ ఒక 15 daysలో రివైజ్ చేయొచ్చు మీరు. 15 daysలో ఐఎమ్ సేయింగ్ రివిజన్, కంప్లీట్ రివిజన్ యూ కెన్ డూ ఇట్ ఇన్ 15 days ఫ్రమ్ హెడ్ టు టైల్ ఇఫ్ యూ ఫాలో దిస్, బికాస్ every topic is a single event, that's all. You see this, like if I say Bhagyareddy Verma role, it's a 3-page or 4-page data, role of Bhagyareddy Verma right from his birth to his peak. Okay, Adi Hindu movement. All these are important things about Bhagireddy Verma. So if you write 3-page notes, your Bhagireddy Verma is over. So Mottam Kalpi, you should have clarity on what to read. That is my basic aim and objective in telling you. Okay. So today we will try to complete the ancient part of Telangana history. Okay. Ancient part of Telangana history, which is mainly about, so again, there is no much relevance about reading the Paleolithic and Mesolithic ages of Telangana history. Okay, so your textbooks are starting from the archaeological sources about Telangana, Trilinga, okay, Telivaha, all beautiful and attractive terms. So we are tending to read them. Of course, you can have basic knowledge about them if you want to use those terminology in his essay, because you have one essay on history also, if you see the syllabus. So akkada edanna if you want to mention Telangana aspects, you can always have some ancient or archaeological information. But as far as your exam is there, it starts with Satavahanas. And you see, even your prelims paper, nothing has come out of this. ఈ టాపిక్స్ కానీ ఏది కూడా రాలేదు ప్రిలిమ్స్, రాదు కూడా. ఓకే, so we'll directly get into the phase called Satavahanas. So Satavahanas, as most of you know, are one of the ancient kingdoms of Telangana. So first topic is Satavahanas, right? So Satavahanas are the ancient most kingdom of Telangana that everyone knows, right? So whenever you are doing certain topic, especially ancient lo emem unnai, Satavahanas, Ikshvakus, Vishnukundis, ఈ 3 kingdoms are ancient kingdoms, right? First of all, వాళ్ళ sources ఏంటి? Okay, what are the sources of this particular kingdom? Sources means how are you able to know about them? Okay, that is one thing. Then who are the important kings? Second thing, so how to read a topic, that is also very important. First thing is, what are the sources? Okay, what are the sources? You concentrate on them. Satavahanas అనగానే వాళ్ళకి సంబంధించిన ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్స్ కానీ whatever it is, you have to remember, sir, there are 10 inscriptions. Yes, sometimes there are 10 inscriptions or sometimes there are 12 inscriptions. How to go about it? See which are important, which are giving their source. The first kingdom గురించి చెప్పే పర్టికులర్ ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్ ఏది, ఫస్ట్ కింగ్ గురించి చెప్పేది ఏది, ఆర్ ఆ మొత్తం డైనాసిటీలో మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ కింగ్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ శాతవాహనాస్లో గౌతమిపుత్ర శాతకర్ణి, ఎవ్రీవన్ నోస్ ఇట్. సో ఆ కింగ్ గురించి చెప్పే ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్ ఏంటి, అట్లా మీరు ఒక 3 or 4 మినిమం ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్స్ అయితే గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. బికాస్ వెన్ యూ రిఫర్ ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్స్ ఇన్ యువర్ ఆన్సర్, so I am always giving you one terminology. In history, your answer should be always remember, very, very, very important. Okay, your answer should always be informed answers. Informed ante entandi, what do you understand by informed? Ante pakkana vallu chusi rayalana. What do you mean by informed answers? Anyone? What do you mean by informed answers? Sorry? Facts, not necessarily facts. And I'm not saying when an answer is informed, it doesn't mean that you are writing too many facts. Exactly. So inscriptions, sources, coins, travelers kante kuda we can put it better way, that the foreign visitors, okay, and the court poets, historians. So basically, endukante, as I told you even in my initial revision class, history is all about perception. Okay, so when you refer to certain accepted norms, for example, if you are referring to R.S. Sharma, he is a renowned historian. So when you are quoting R.S. Sharma, the examiner understands that you are trying to put that fact in his perspective. Ante as per R.S. Sharma and rasarankondi. Okay. Ante you are giving something which you understood from R.S. Sharma and quoting here. So that will look very matured. Okay. Sometimes they are asking you your opinion. There you can always write your opinion. But always in history, if you mention sources, inscriptions, so Naganika inscription. Okay. So that means you know that this inscription belongs to Satavahana and you have read it and you are quoting it. Ardhamainda? So sources are the first thing. Okay. What are the sources? Then the second aspect is origin. So I am trying to tell you, whenever you read a topic, you read it in these lines and keep these side headings and dump information there. రేపు పొద్దున మీకు మెయిన్స్ లో క్వశ్చన్స్ వచ్చినప్పుడు కూడా ఈజీలీ యూ విల్ బ్రష్ త్రూ. ఓకే, సోర్సెస్, ఆరిజిన్, దెన్ ప్రామినెంట్ కింగ్స్. ప్రామినెంట్ కింగ్స్. ఎస్, డైనాస్టీలో 30 మంది కింగ్స్ ఉంటే నాట్ ఎవ్రీ వన్ ఈజ్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఇఫ్ యూ టేక్ శాతవాహన ఓన్లీ, as per Matsya Purana, there are more than 30 kings. Yes, so who are the prominent kings? Okay, prominent kings. Then spread. What is the spread of the empire? What is the spread of the empire? From where and where? This gives you clarity. When you write, it belongs to Deccan, it belongs to northern India, అంత కాన్ఫిడెంట్ గా రాయాలంటే you should know the spread. Okay, spread. Then what kind of administration they had? What kind of administration they had? Okay, what kind of administration they had? What is the kind of economy? What is the prominent religion? What is the prominent religion? What is the prominent religion? Then, yeah, economy over, religion over. Yeah, good. Art and architecture. Art and architecture. And then reasons for decline, if any. Okay, language is part of art and architecture only. Okay, we will maintain language as part of art and architecture. So ee lines lo ganaka meeru prati kingdom ni chaduvute, I'm sure that you will not forget anything. ఏమైపోతుంది, we read so many things, no? So to categorize them and to simplify them, it becomes difficult. So now in this angle, you go and read Shatavahanas, you will feel very comfortable. Okay, and this template you have for Ikshvakus, and this template you have for Vishnukundis, then you will be in a very, very, very comfortable position. Endukante, okay, of course, this is where maximum number of questions are falling. Okay, and of course, this is also very important. So, maximum number of questions are falling in the cultural part. So, they are not going to ask you what is the spread of Satavahana, what are the different capitals, Dhanyakatakam, Amravati. Dhanyakatakam is nothing but Amravati. Okay, Kotilingala and then Pakistan. They are not going to ask you these kind of questions. So they are going to ask you more on cultural aspect. So cultural aspect ki meeku itlanti breakdown unte, itla oka breakup unte, you will feel comfortable for different ancient dynasties. Confusion basically ancient dynasties lo vastadi. Okay, because lot of things of Satavahana are repeating in Ikshvakus. Avuna kada? You read textbook also, they had matrimony, this fellow had matrilineal names. So, and then Ikshvakus and Vishnu Kund also there is some continuity. One fellow's name is Sri Parvata and another's god name is Sri Parvata. So, lot of there is mismatch or continuity, or there is so much confusion is there. For that you maintain this template, you will feel very, very comfortable. Okay, already మీకు నోట్స్ ఉన్నట్లయితే ఆ నోట్స్ నైనా ఇట్లా కేటగరైజ్ చేసుకోండి. Okay, so coming to the first dynasty, which is nothing but the Satavahana dynasty. So what is that you know about Satavahana dynasty? Yeah, what is it you know about Satavahana dynasty? Satavahana is one of the most ancient dynasties of Telangana region. Okay, they are known. How do we know about them? We know about them through Puranas also. Mainly sources of Satavahanas. Matsya Purana, even in Vayu Purana they are there. So these are the two important Puranas where Satavahanas are mentioned. So what are the inscriptions where Satavahanas are mentioned? Nasik inscription, Nagar inscription. Nasik and Nagar inscriptions are the two main inscriptions. So basically, as per the legends, okay, Satavahanas were supposed to be the feudatories of Mauryans. So after Mauryans in the north, Kanva dynasty came. So they defeated this Kanva dynasty here in the Deccan area and captured the power. So that is one of the legend about the Satavahana dynasty. And they call themselves as Eka Brahmanas. They call themselves as Eka Brahmanas. Okay, so Eka Brahmanas is their name which they have coined for themselves. So in this Nagar inscription, their founder is mentioned as Simukha. Okay, Simukha. And they are very, very famous and efficient rulers and ruled the Deccan Plateau for almost 300-400 years. Okay, and then when it comes to their important kings, obviously after Simukha, the next important king is Satakarni I. Okay, Satakarni I is their first important king. After Satakarni I, we know one famous king called Kuntala Satakarni. What is so special about Kuntala Satakarni? Change of language. What language? He started using Sanskrit extensively. Okay, he started using Sanskrit extensively. Okay, and one more thing. There was a famous person in his court called, Vatsayana is one person. One more is Gunadhya. So what did this Gunadhya do? He has written one of the book on Gunadhya. He has written a book called Brihad Katha. Brihad Katha. So what is this Brihad Katha? A book on Sanskrit grammar, right? A book on Sanskrit grammar. So this is also a book on Sanskrit. So again, this goes to show that whatever is there, this particular person started using this language. Okay. And after Satakarni won, since this person, okay, the Satavahanas started to perform Ashwamedha, Vajapeya and Rajasuya Yagnas. These people started performing. What is this Ashwamedha, Vajapeya and Rajasuya Yagnas? Ashwamedham, you know, that a horse is let out and whatever it conquers belongs to the king. What is Vajapeya? Vajapeya is a homam or the rituals performed to get divine powers to king. Divine powers to king. And then what is this Rajasuya? To coronation. Rajasuya means coronation. If you have to become the king, you have to do Rajasuya Yagna and then you will be part of the empire. Okay, and then after Kuntala Satakarni, next famous king. I am using the word famous king. So I am not trying to give any chronology here. Okay, so famous king means who is that? Hala. What is Hala famous for? Gadha Saptasati. Gatha Saptasati. A very, very, very famous book because the king himself has written this particular book, Gatha Saptasati. Okay, Gatha Saptasati. Okay, Gatha Saptasati by Hala is a very, very famous book. Right. So, if you see, what is the importance of Gatha Saptasati is, it is written by the king itself. And next we have after that many kings have come in Satavahana dynasty. Okay, but the peak of Satavahana dynasty or the power of Satavahana dynasty was revived by one king. Who is that? Gautami Putra Satakarni. Gautami Putra Satakarni. So, Gautami Putra Satakarni. So, he has also started a new trend. What is the trend called? Matrilineal names. Okay, please remember the society was patriarchal. Society was still male dominant, patriarchal, okay, male centric, but the names, their initials or you can say the surnames, now were borrowed from their mother. From here the trend of naming themselves from mother started, and his mother name is Gautami Balasri. Okay, Gautami Balasri, and Gautami Balasri herself has been part of one of the inscription. What is that? Nasik inscription. She mentions about the chronology of Shatavahanas in Nasik inscription. Okay, Nasik inscription. So in Nasik inscription law, okay, and then many people after Gautami Putra Satakarni, the achievement of Gautami Putra Satakarni is he has defeated Nahapana. He was a very dreadful king. Okay, and there was constant tussle between the Satakarnis and this person. And Gautami Putra Satakarni, as the first time, came and defeated Nahapana. His son, Gautami Putra Satakarni's son is Vasishta Putra Pulamavi. Okay, after that, so many people have come and gone. The last ruler of the last known ruler of Satavahana kingdom was Pulamavi IV. And then what is he famous for? There is one inscription called Macedona inscriptions. Okay, Macedonian inscriptions. Okay, Macedonian inscriptions. So this shows the chronology of the Satavahana. This shows the chronology of Satavahanas. Vasishta Putra Pulamavi. Okay, he is the last ruler, and this is mentioned in Macedonian inscription. So శాతవాహన గురించి చాలా ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి అనుకోండి, మూడైతే గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలా. వాట్ ఈస్ దట్? ఫస్ట్ థింగ్ నానాఘట్ ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్, నాసిక్ ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్, మెకడోని ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్. ఓకే, దెన్ యూ రిమెంబర్ వాయు పురాణ, మత్స్య పురాణ. ఓకే, సో ఇఫ్ యూ కోట్ దీస్ 5 sources in your exam in any answer of Shatavahanas, examiner will be reasonably happy that yes, this person knows about Shatavahanas. You can always say, if you want to write something about Gautamiputra Satakarni, you can say as per the Nasik inscription, because immediately before Gautamiputra Satakarni, Gautami Balasri, so she has written Nasik inscription, so it should definitely contain something about her son. So obviously, if you want to refer that if he has killed Nahapana, how we know that? From Nasik inscription only. Ardhamainda? So try to quote these sources so that your answer will not look very scattered or it will look very informed. That is what I am trying to tell you. Endukante see, Indian history ki Telangana history ki difference ento chepta chudandi. Indian history lo oka sync coherence untadi. అంటే నాకు అనిపించింది, అది మీకు ఎట్లా అనిపించిందో నాకు తెలియదు. తెలంగాణ హిస్టరీ విల్ బి spread and it looks little bit dry in the sense it's more about the sequence of events or mainly about kings. Okay, it's the cultural aspect is relatively less. Indian history lo entante especially modern history ki vachedappadiki there is so much thing happening that you will be automatically focusing or enjoying reading. Here entante suddenly you are doing Shatavahanas, Ikshvakus and Vishnukundis done, then you are immediately jumping to Kakatiyas. So from Vishnukundis who ended in 5th 6th century, you are straightly going into 12th century. ఆ కంటిన్యూటీ లేదు. కంటిన్యూటీ లేనప్పుడు ఒక సబ్జెక్ట్లో ఏమవుతుందంటే కొంచెం స్కాటర్డ్ అయిపోతాం మనం కూడా when we are preparing. బట్ హియర్ యువర్ స్ట్రాటజీ షుడ్ బి టాపిక్ వైజ్ ప్రిపరేషన్. అందుకే నేను మీకు ఇండియన్ హిస్టరీలో ఏం చెప్పలేదు చదువుకోమని, ఎందుకంటే అక్కడ ఒక డైనాస్టీకి ఇంకో డైనాస్టీకి దెర్ ఈజ్ ఏ కంటిన్యూటీ. మౌర్యన్స్ పోయాక ఇండో గ్రీక్స్ వచ్చారు, ఇండో గ్రీక్స్ పోయాక గుప్తాస్ వచ్చారు, గుప్తాస్ పోయాక హర్షవర్ధన వచ్చాడు, హర్షవర్ధన పోయాక రాష్ట్రకూట పోయాక గుర్జర్ పోయాక చోళ, చేర, పాండ్య, then again Delhi Sultanate. So I can name all the kings without any interruption from 4th century BCE to 18th century CE. ఆ కంటిన్యూటీ ఉంది. సో ఎవ్రీవేర్ దేర్ ఇస్ సమ్ ఆర్ అదర్ కింగ్ కమింగ్. తెలంగాణలో కూడా ఉంటుంది, లేదనట్లేదు, బట్ మన పోర్షన్లో లేదు. ఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్? అండ్ వీఆర్ నాట్ రియల్లీ బాదర్డ్ అబౌట్ డూయింగ్ PhD in history. ఆల్ వీ వాంట్ ఇస్ మేక్ ఎ ఫోకస్ స్టడీ అండ్ దెన్ మూవ్ ఆన్. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో ఇన్ దట్ కాంటెక్స్ట్ try to do these kind of things which can help you retain more and more information. So coming to administration of Satavahanas. Yeah, administration. So I just told you one thing. Satavahanas are feudatories of Mauryans. So obviously there will be something, or in fact 90% of administration will be similar to Mauryans. So simply whenever you see administration, you can say that they by and large followed Mauryan administration. They followed Mauryan administration. Okay, they followed Mauryan administration, and their details of administration are mentioned in Nasik and Karle inscriptions. The administration part is mentioned in Nasik and Karle inscriptions. Nasik and Karle inscriptions. Okay. Obviously, when we are saying it is similar to the Mauryans, the king would be very, very powerful. It would be an autocratic government. Okay. King was extremely powerful, and kingdom was divided into aharas. Kingdom is now divided into Aharas. Aharas. King is very, very important and king is very, very powerful. Okay. And they had cities called as Nigama Sabhas. The cities in Satavahana period were called as Nigama Sabhas. Okay. Okay. So, when it comes to their army, okay, army was centralized. When in Satavahana kingdom, the army was centralized. And who was the head of army? Sorry? Okay, head of army is king, no doubt. And what is that role who is looking after the army affairs called? Mahasenapati. Okay. Mahasenapati. Okay. So he was the head of the king. Okay. For this Aharas, for important provinces called Aharas, the princess and the prince. The prince were the head of important Aharas. Okay. So like even Mauryan, before becoming the king of Maurya, the Ashoka was king of Ujjain region. Okay. So like that, each and every province, one prince used to head. Okay. Coming to the land revenue system. The revenue system, how much tax did they collect? 1/6 of the produce was collected as revenue. 1/6 of the produce was collected as revenue, but this revenue did not apply uniformly to everyone. So some sections like Brahmanas, Buddhist monks were enjoying exemptions. Okay. Fine. So too many times disturbance hota. Okay. So coming back, so the next important aspect is economy. So what do you know about Satavahana's economy? Obviously, when they are collecting money from the produce, that means the primary occupation should be agriculture. Antena? Agricultural economy. However, they had extensive trade relationship. And their important ports were Bharuch. Okay, their important ports were Bharuch. Okay, Bharuch is an important port, and they also increased the produce, and prominent crops were rice, jowar. So they grew these kind of crops called rice, jowar. Okay, rice, jowar. Okay. They also tried to concentrate on irrigation system. And we know that from the time of latter Vedic age, there is something called, what is this? Trade guilds. You know trade guilds? So these trade guilds were extensively involved in trading operations, and they were doing all this trade. In fact, this external trade also through ship ports and shipping yards were controlled by trade guilds. And Trade guilds are the places where the kings did not have direct control upon. Okay, they were also called as shrenis. Okay, now coming to the religion. Yeah, some of the important ports: Bharuch, Ghantasala, okay, and Sopar. Bharuch, Ghantasala, Sopar, okay, and in the east, Machilipatnam also is there. It was called Masulipatnam. Okay, so coming to their religion now. Religion. What was the religion during Satavahanas? I told you what Satavahanas called themselves as Eka Brahmana. So king himself is calling themselves as Brahmanas. So basically, religion is Brahminic religion. Brahminic religion or the Vedic religion of that time. Of course, kings like Gautamiputra Satakarni and other kings also patronized Buddhism. They patronized Buddhism and Jainism. How do we know this? How can we say that? Art and architecture is one, but there are inscriptions which are showing that there are some liberal grants. And in fact, king called Satakarni too. Satakarni too. He has made some changes to Sanchi Stupa. He did not construct, but he made certain changes to Sanchi Stupa. So if a king is making some changes to Buddhist stupa, that means they patronized Buddhism. They also gave liberal grants to Buddhism and Jainism, especially the monks of Buddhism and Jainism. Okay, so while they patronized Vedic religion, in fact they followed Vedic religion, they also patronized other religions. So from this, what you can mention about their religious policy? They were tolerant rulers, and then they were religiously tolerant. So itlanti inferences gani, conclusions gani, you should bring it out, because if a king is, like for example Ashok also, he is a religiously tolerant ruler. Okay, okay, and coming to social status or society. Brahmins obviously enjoyed maximum respect, because king also claimed themselves to be Brahmins, and then Kshatriyas. So the Varna system prevailed in very good effect in this during system, and families were mostly joint families. Families are mostly joint families. Okay, families are mostly joint families, and the role of women was better during this age, and these women were good, even accompanied their husbands during trade. Women even accompanied their husbands during trade. So again, if you talk about Satavahana dynasty, the position of women was comparatively better. ఎప్పుడైనా హిస్టరీలో రాయాలంటే, ఎప్పుడైనా హిస్టరీలో విమెన్ గురించి అట్లా ఎస్సేలో విమెన్ గురించి ఏదైనా టాపిక్ వచ్చిందంటే, యూ కెన్ సే దట్ even in the early Vedic age, women enjoyed lot of privileges. They were equal, they had good say, and it was so up to Satavahana age. Starting Gupta age, it started deteriorating. So you can use, when you use these kind of examples, the examiner will be really impressed, because he will know that you don't not only have knowledge, but also you have the depth on what you are speaking about. Always try to add value to your answers. Okay, so next is, what are the language spoken by Satavahanas? Shatavahanas mostly initially they used Prakrit language, but in the later parts of their rule they started using Sanskrit. Okay, they're using Sanskrit. Okay, there are a lot of poems and books. In fact, Gada Saptasati, written by Hala, a king of Shatavahana dynasty himself, is a collection of poems. Ona Gada Saptasati is a collection of poems. And Gunadhya, who served the Gada as well as the Kuntala Satakarni as well as Gada, was a person who wrote the book called Bruhat Katha. Okay. So all these are important aspects. So coming to the art and architecture, the final important point about Satavahanas, art and architecture. Their art and architecture was influenced by both Hinduism and Buddhism. Avana? How we can say again this? They are influenced by Buddhist art because some of their rulers have gone and modified something like Sanchi Stupa. And the very famous thing about Satavahanas is they patronized the school of art called Amaravati School of Art. So this school of art is very famous, which was a contemporary of Mathura School of Art and Gandhara School of Art. What is this Amaravati School of Art mainly about? It is talking about the folklores of Buddha. Folklores ante enti? Folklores of Buddha and his life. Folklores ante entandi? Folklores ante folk stories. Basically folklores means folk story or janapadalu, what we call as. So about Buddha's life, there are many legends, right? Because Buddha in the later part of his life, he was treated like a god. So there are so many legends about his life, how he became that, how he attained nirvana, how when he was under Bodhi Vriksha, how he attained that jnanam. All these are different stories. So these kind of stories are depicted as, in the form of art at this Amaravati School of Art. Okay, and then something called Pandavaleni caves. Have you heard about them? So during Satavahanas, Pandavaleni caves, they constructed this Pandavaleni caves. And also there are contributions from Satavahanas in this place called Ajanta caves. Ajanta caves are mainly devoted to Buddhism. You know that? Ellora caves are combination of Buddhism, Jainism and Hinduism, but Ajanta caves are mostly having Chaityas, Viharas, so they are mostly resembling the Buddhism. So mural paintings of Ajanta caves. So Satavahanas have their direct contribution in mural paintings of Ajanta caves. So that is about your Satavahanas. So just take a couple of minutes. Whatever notes you have written, you just brush through them. If you have something to ask, you can ask me. Even the online guys. Yeah. Yeah, Sri Lanka, the Satavahana had centralization of administration. Yes, because when they are following Mauryans, Satavahanas also had a centralized administration where king is supreme. Okay, and they have divided their kingdom into aharas, and for each aharas there was a prince who used to head that. Okay. Okay. Fine. What is the next important dynasty? Iwaku Dynasty. Next important dynasty is Iwaku Dynasty. Okay. So, the Pulamavi IV, who is the last ruler of Satavahana kingdom, was overthrown by this particular dynasty called Iwaku Dynasty. The capital was if you want to write down the capitals of Satavahanas, they basically had three capitals. One is first is Kodilingala, okay, Kodilingala, then Dhanyakataka or the Amravati, what we call, and it is also called as Dharani Kota. There are different names, but it's basically Amravati. And finally, Pratisthana, or also called as Paitan. Okay, so it is more towards the Maharashtra side. Okay, so there are three capitals for Satavahanas. So for Ikshuvakus, one of the capital is for the Ikshuvakus, the capital is Vijayapuri. Okay, so what are the sources? What are the sources? Sources are inscriptions at Nagarjuna Konda, inscriptions at Nagarjuna Konda, and also at a place called Jaggayapeta. Sources. These are sources. Sources are inscriptions at Nagarjuna Konda and Jaggayapeta. The Vayu Purana also mentions about Ikshuvakus. Basically, you tell me, I told you in my history class, when was this Puranas composed? During Gupta period. Okay, we spoke about it. During Gupta period, these Puranas are composed. So when Puranas are composed later, obviously these people will be there. But Puranas etta rasarante futurist tense lo rasaru. Puranas will be in futurist tense. Like today you are writing a Purana saying that in 2014 there will be a Prime Minister called Narendra Modi. But where are you writing? In 2024 you are writing saying that in India when 2014 comes there will be a change of leadership called Narendra Modi. So some fellow who is reading it in 2200, they will say, Abba Purana, these fellows have thought that it is coming. They knew visionary. They are visionary. They know that Narendra Modi is going to come. So that is the concept of Puranas. Okay. Because all the Puranas, they are written in futurist tense. Okay. So similarly, obviously these rulers will be mentioned because they are written along with them, because these fellows, they have ruled from 200 to 300 CE. Who? Ikshuvakus. And Puranas are also combined on the same time. Okay. None of the Puranas said Mughals will come. Huh? Because obviously they are not compiled so far. So So that is the thing, of course. So coming back to our discussion, they were also known as Sri Parvatiyas. I think you all know it. Sri Parvatiyas or Andhra. Sri Parvatiyas. Sri Parvatiyas. They were basically Shaivites. Ikshvakus, if you see the religion of Ikshvakus, they were basically Shaivites. They are basically Shaivites. And they performed Vedic rituals. So once I say they performed Vedic rituals, what do you mean? You should understand something which I spoke just now. Entadi? They performed Ashwamedha, Vajapaya, Rajasuya Yagnas. So if they see, obviously exam lo prati dynasty pay adutaledo manaku teliyadu, but ancient dynasties pay question vachinappudu, because they are following Vedic religion, you try to mention that they have performed these, because the examiner will know that you actually remember this. అర్థమైందా? ఒకటే ఎగ్జామ్ లో మీరు శాతవాహన శిక్షవాకు రాస్తారని గ్యారంటీ లేదు కదా. ఎవరో ఒక్కళ్ళని రాసినప్పుడు కూడా, సిన్స్ బోత్ ఆర్ ఫాలోయింగ్ వేదిక్ రిలీజియన్, you mention that they did these kind of practices, that will fetch you. Okay, you understood? Religion of Satavahanas, religion of Ikshvakus, dantlo they perform these things and rayachu, right? And then they also patronized Buddhism. Again, what do you infer from it? They were tolerant rulers. Okay, so they patronized Buddhism. Okay, and in fact, the present day Nagarjuna Konda, this Nagarjuna Konda is a Buddhist hub. So they gave lot of grants to Nagarjuna Konda. Koncham slow వెళ్తున్నా పర్లేదా? Is the speed okay, or you want me to be more faster? Is it decent? కాసుకొని వెళ్తున్నా స్లోగా, ఎందుకంటే తెలంగాణ హిస్టరీ కొంచెం స్లోగా చెప్పుకుంటే ఎక్కుతుంది, కొంచెం ఫాస్ట్గా వెళ్తే పైనుంచి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది, మరీ స్లోగా వెళ్తే నిద్రపోతారు. ఇదే దట్ ఈస్ ఎక్స్ట్రీమ్ విత్ తెలంగాణ హిస్టరీ, బికాజ్ ఐ హావ్ టాట్ ఇట్ ఫర్ సో మెనీ ఇయర్స్ నౌ. ఐ అండర్స్టాండ్ ద పల్స్. మరీ మెల్లగా చెప్తే నేను ఒక్కడనే చెప్పుకుంటూ ఉంటా, మరీ ఫాస్ట్గా చెప్తుంటే మీరు ఇట్లా చూస్తారు ఏమవుతుందని. సో అందుకే ఒక స్పీడ్లో వెళ్తున్నా, స్పీడ్ ఒకవేళ తక్కువ అనిపిస్తే చెప్పండి, కొంచెం పెంచుదాం సార్ పేస్ అంటే కూడా నాకేం ప్రాబ్లం లేదు, వీ కెన్ గో ఫాస్టర్. ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ ఇంటెన్షనల్లీ స్లో. ఆన్లైన్ గైస్, ఆర్ యూ ఓకే విత్ ద స్పీడ్, ఆర్ యూ వాంట్ మీ టు బి ఫాస్టర్? But even with this speed, we covered one chapter, okay, in 1 hour. So I think it's decent speed. You're all comfortable, right? Fine, thank you. So that is about the religion part. They were Shaivites. Of course, again I am saying they have patronized Buddhism. So who are the prominent rulers of Ikshvakus? First prominent ruler ever? Vasishthaputra Shantamula. Vasishthaputra Shantamula. Again, something they have borrowed from Satavahanas. Entadi? Name of mothers, having their surname as mothers. So the first king, famous king, is Vasishthaputra Shantamula. Vasishthaputra Shantamula, very very important. Okay, ఏం చేశారు ఈయన Vasishthaputra Shantamula? He was the founder. He was the founder of this kingdom. He was the founder of kingdom. Okay, we come to know of this particular person from Rentala and Kesanpalli inscriptions. Rentala and Kesanpalli inscriptions. ఈ ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్స్ నుంచి మనకి వశిష్ఠపుత్ర శాంతముల గురించి we have lot of information. Okay, and he gave lot of donations to the religious monks and Buddhists. He gave a lot of donations to religious monks and Buddhists. Okay, and he also performed a lot of rituals as per the Vedic religion. He also performed a lot of rituals as per the Vedic religion. Madariputra Veera Purushadatta. Next important ruler is Veera Purushadatta. Veera Purushadatta. Veera Purushadatta. So what is this Veera Purushadatta? He was one of the greatest ruler of Ikshawaku kingdom. He was the greatest ruler of Ikshawaku kingdom. Initially, he followed Shaivism, but later converted to Buddhism. So, very important, he was a Shaivist to start with and then converted to Buddhism. In Mauryan dynasty also there is a king of this sort. Who is that? Ashoka. Avana? Ashoka. Ashoka. Next important king is Ahavula Shantamula. Ahavula Shantamula. Ahavula Shantamula. What is special about this king? Ahavula Shantamula? Sorry? Temples. He has built lot of temples. He has built lot of temples. During his time, lot of temples are constructed. So obviously, if temples are constructed, he has also given lot of donations to the temples. Yes or no? Lot of donations to the temples. Okay. And one more thing is, the first Sanskrit inscription of South India was written during this time. First Sanskrit inscription in South India was written during his time. Okay. So coming to the administration again, they followed administration of Satavahanas. So very centralized administration. And they followed a lot of Dharma Shastras and Sutras. Their rule was as per Dharma Shastras. And also Smritis. The rule was as per Dharma Shastras and Smritis. And I told you that they have performed lot of Vedic rituals or religions. They have performed lot of Vedic religions or rituals. And during their time, a new post came called Kostagarika. What is this Kostagarika? Huh? Someone belonging to Coastal Andhra? What is Kostagarika? Treasurer. Good. So Kostagarika is a treasurer. They are trying to have more control over the funds. Kostagarika means treasurer. Okay. And they have also taken up reforms in local self-government. Some reforms in local self-government. They have taken up some reforms in local self-government. Okay. And they appointed a new person as village head. He was called Talavara. Talavara means head. Okay. Even in Tamil they call Tala. Means what? Huh? Tala means what? All call Mahendra Dhoni Tala, na? Tala. What is that Tala? Talaiva means like God. Tala means head or Guruji, like that. Okay. That's why Dhoni is called Tala. Means he's the leader kind of person, no? Okay. So maybe they have borrowed from this, we don't know. Okay. Right. So they have improvised upon local government. They created this post called Talwara, who is the village official head. And then like Satavahanas, their revenue was mostly on agriculture. And it was 1/6 of the produce. It was like 1/6 of produce. Okay, 1/6 of produce. The social structure was very much like Satavahana kingdom. Whatever social structure flourished during Satavahanas, same social structure flourished during Ikshawakus. ఎందుకంటే కంటిన్యూటీ ఉంది. See, ఎప్పుడు కూడా సొసైటీలో when there is continuity, kings may change, but the society will not change so drastically. Please remember, very, very, very important thing in history. మనం ఏమనుకుంటాం, అక్బర్ బాబర్ రాగానే మొత్తం మారిపోయింది అనుకుంటాం. ఏం మారదు. తెలంగాణ ఏమైనా మారిందా? లీడర్షిప్ మారినందుకు ఏమైనా మారిందా? ఏం మారదు కదా. అంత ఇమీడియట్గా ఏం మారదు. ఓకే, మారేది ఒక్కటే, గ్రూప్ 1 ఎగ్జామ్. అది ఎప్పుడు ఎట్లయితే తెలియదు. అదొక్కటే, ఆ కల్చర్ అదొక్కటే అన్సర్టనిటీ ఉంది, కానీ మిగతా అంతా సర్టన్గానే ఉంది తెలంగాణలో. ఓకే, సో సొసైటీ, దట్స్ వై ఇఫ్ యూ సీ ఇన్ మెడివల్ ఏజ్ ఆల్సో, ఇన్ ద టెక్స్ట్ బుక్స్ దే సే సొసైటీ ఫ్రమ్ 16th to 18th century అంటారు. అంటే 200 years స్పాన్లో సొసైటీ గురించి మాట్లాడతాం మనం. దట్ మీన్స్ ఫ్రమ్ 16th to 18th century, ఫ్రమ్ ద స్టార్ట్ ఆఫ్ మొఘల్స్ టు ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ మొఘల్స్, రైట్? So almost for 200-250 years there is same thing in the society. Societies on the rapid transformation కావు. పొలిటికల్ ల్యాండ్స్కేప్ మారినంత ఫాస్ట్గా సొసైటీ మారదు. లాస్ట్ 20 years is an aberration because of so much of technology revolution. Okay, industry 3.0 నుంచి industry 4.0కి hardly it took 30-40 years. So this is a very big societal impact. అంటే ఈ స్మార్ట్ ఫోన్ జనరేషన్ అనే వాళ్ళది అసలు, ఇఫ్ యూ గో 10 years బ్యాక్, వేర్ ఈస్ దిస్ యూట్యూబ్? ఓకే, వేర్ ఈస్ దిస్ యూట్యూబ్? డిడ్ ఎనీ కోచింగ్ సెంటర్ ఇమాజిన్ దట్ ఐ ఆమ్ సిట్టింగ్ హియర్ అండ్ సమ్ 10-12 people sitting there are following the class as good as you people? I am sharing my board, I am sharing my screen. So all these are possible. So society change అనేది లాస్ట్ 25-30 yearsలో అయినట్టు ప్రీవియస్గా కాలేదు, బికాస్ the technology interventions, okay, those are unheard of. So basically, similarly here, and now we are talking about ancient India, not even medieval, modern, ancient lo, when kings are changing, societies will not change so easily. Whatever customs and practices were there during the Shatavahanas will remain during Ikshawakus. Please remember. So కొన్నిసార్లు you can do a smart study. If you remember all the points of Satavahanas for society and religion, you can, when there is a question on Ikshawakus, you can intelligently put them there also. అర్థమైందా? Because you will not be wrong. Satavahana society, Ikshawaku society same అన్నప్పుడు, Satavahana, if you are well prepared, if the question is on Ikshawaku, you try to, don't say that Satavahana and Ikshawaku are same and రాసరాయకండి. అది అట్లా వస్తే అది వేరే మళ్ళీ. You can talk about society in a proper way by knowing Satavahanas. That's what I mean to say. Ikshawakuకి సపరేట్గా స్టడీ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, ఎందుకంటే ఇక్కడ కంటిన్యూటీ ఉంది కాబట్టి. ఓకే, then they also maintained same trade relations like Satavahana, used same ports, Baruch gani, Sopar gani, Gandasala gani. So Ikshawakus also use same ports like Satavahana for trade. Again, religion, you know, they had patronized Vedic religion, and one person called, you know, Rudra Purushadatta. Sorry, Evula Shantamula. So they converted to Buddhism also. Okay, Veera Purushadatta converted to Buddhism also. Fine. So, and they also gave grants to Jainism. They also gave grants to Jainism. And also they gave significant importance to Amaravati School of Art. And they have constructed a new Buddhist site called Nelakondapalli. Where is that? ఎక్కడ ఉంది నేలకొండపల్లి? Where is it? Khammam district of the present day Telangana. Okay, so they have constructed lot of they patronized Jainism. They have given grants to Jainism. They have given grants to Jainism. Okay, this is about your Ikshvakus. Again, just go through it for a couple of minutes. Ikshvakus. So clear with your Ikshvakus and Shatavahanas. If you have any doubt, just ask me before we move forward. Online guys. Okay, let's go to next topic. What is the next topic? Again, very, very important kingdom in the context of ancient Telangana. In the context of ancient Telangana, it's a very, very important dynasty. Okay, so nanu adugute Shatavahanas and Vishnukandis are more important than Ikshvakus. ఎందుకంటే ఇక్ష్వాకుస్ పైన లిటరేచర్ తక్కువ ఉంది అండ్ శాతవాహన పైన క్వశ్చన్ వస్తే ఇక్ష్వాకు నుంచి కూడా హ్యాండిల్ చేసేయచ్చు. కంటిన్యూటీ చాలా ఉంది శాతవాహనకి విష్ణుకుండిస్కి. సో అట్లా ఇంటెలిజెంట్గా చదవాలా, స్ట్రాటజిక్గా. ఓకే, సో ఈవెన్ మీకు ఇక్ష్వాకుస్ పైన క్వశ్చన్ వచ్చినా ఇఫ్ యూ ఆర్ వెరీ గుడ్ విత్ శాతవాహనాస్ you can handle that very comfortably. Okay, so coming to Vishnukundis. So Vishnukundi is basically a Sanskrit name. Okay, in Telugu names they were called as Vinugondas. They were also called as Vinugondas. Okay, their capital was Amarapuram. Amarapuram is nothing but your present day Amrabad. Amrabad Tiger Reserve undi kada. So your Amarapuram is nothing but your present day Amrabad. Okay. So main inscriptions about Vishnukundis is Tummalagudam. So main inscriptions is Tummalagudam, Epuru inscriptions, Tummalagudam, Epuru inscriptions, Chikkulla and Ramatirtham. Chikkulla and Ramatirtham. So these are the main inscriptions of Vishnukundis. Okay, and some of the important Buddhist sites where we can know the evidences of Vishnukundis is Chaitanyapuri and Nelakondapalli. This Nelakondapalli is a very, very important Buddhist site. Please remember that. Okay, Nelakondapalli. Okay, so the first famous king is Govindavarma I. The first famous king is Govindavarma I. Govindavarma I. Okay, he is the first famous king. So he married a princess called Bhattarika Mahadevi. He married a princess called Bhattarika Mahadevi. Okay, next famous king is Madhavarma II. Second famous king is Madhavarma II. He is famous for shifting his capital to Dendaluru, and also in South India the first evidence of human sacrifice is during Madhavarma II. So now tell me, what is that you will infer from the society? If there is human sacrifice, what can you infer? Not necessarily sati kaadu. So there were some superstitious beliefs. Antena kada. So the religion became more and more superstitious. So these kind of things you have to infer. So he simply said there is human sacrifice. So human sacrifice, see, first of all, animal sacrifice antene superstition. Okay, so human sacrifice is the abnormal level. Okay, Madhavarma II time lo human sacrifice ayindi ante, that means there is a extreme level of superstition in the religion. Okay, but having said that, Madhavarma II is a very, very powerful and famous ruler of Vishnukundis. Okay, he attacked Pallavas. Madhavarma II attacked Pallavas. Madhavarma II also followed Vedic rituals. Again, you see, he Vedic rituals anedi common ga vastundi. He also followed Vedic rituals. and he took a very famous title. Title is Trivara Nagara Bhavanagata Sundari Hridaya Nandana. You know that? Okay. So you can just write down Trivara Nagara Bhavanagata Trivara Nagara Bhavanagata Sundari Hridaya Nandana. Sundari Hridaya Nandana. Next important ruler is Vikramendra Varma II. Vikramendra Varma II. He defeated Pallavas. After him, Vikramendra Varma II. Vikramendra Varma II. What did he do? He defeated Pallavas. Okay, and having said that, this person started Vedic schools. Who? Vikramendra Varma. He started Vedic schools, and these Vedic schools were called Ghatika. Very very important. అంటే group 2 లో అడగచ్చు, but even group 1 లో కూడా మీరు రాయాలనుకున్నప్పుడు when you write this Ghatika are nothing but Vedic schools. Okay, Vedic schools. So coming to the administration. Administration of Vishnukundis. So the entire kingdom was divided into Rastras. Kingdom was divided into Rastras. Okay, kingdom was divided into Rastras, and these Rastras were in turn divided into Vishayas. Rastras, and then Rastras were divided into Vishayas, and these Rastras were headed by prince. Same, right? ఎక్కడైనా అంతే. సి ఒక టెంప్లెట్ ఉంటుంది హిస్టరీకి, ఆ టెంప్లెట్ని కరెక్ట్గా పట్టుకున్నామంటే రాసేయచ్చు మంచిగా, ఇబ్బంది లేకుండా. సో వాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్ మెనీ a time with many students where I see with them personally or closely is they tend to focus that I have to remember ఆ బై హార్ట్ చేయాలన్న దాంట్లో ఉంటారు. సో దాంట్లో ఏమవుతుందంటే ఇట్ విల్ రియల్లీ అన్నెసర్లీ కాంప్లికేట్. ఇప్పుడు చూడండి ఏన్షియంట్ హిస్టరీలో if you take Mauryan Empire, Gupta Empire, in Telangana history, if you take Shatavahana, Ikshawaku, Vishnukundi, template same. Template and Ardhamavutunda, what I am trying to tell you. If you, in first slide ichcha kada, I have given you some parameters or side headings under which you have to note. If you make note of that, in fact you will see, if you make note of that, 400 BCE నుంచి 400 CE మధ్యలో ఉన్న కింగ్డమ్స్ అన్నిటికీ most of the things will be common. So you should try to catch pulse of such things and make your study easy and revise more. అర్థమైందా? సో టెంప్లెట్ బేస్డ్ స్టడీస్ ఎస్పెషల్లీ ఏన్షియంట్కి చాలా ఈజీ. అందుకే ఏన్షియంట్ గ్రిప్ ఒక్కసారి వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, యూ విల్ ఫీల్ వెరీ వెరీ కాన్ఫిడెంట్ ఇన్ అటెంప్టింగ్ ఏన్షియంట్ క్వశ్చన్స్. ఓకే, మెడివల్ స్లైట్లీ ఫ్యాక్చువల్ ఉంటుంది, ఎక్కడైనా తీసుకోండి. ఈవెన్ ఇండియన్ హిస్టరీలో మెడివల్ అన్నా, మన తెలంగాణ హిస్టరీలో మెడివల్ అన్నా ఫ్యాక్చువల్, బికాజ్ యూ హ్యావ్ మోర్ అండ్ మోర్ రిసోర్సెస్, మోర్ అండ్ మోర్ లిటరేచర్, మోర్ అండ్ మోర్ కింగ్స్ ఆర్ దేర్. సో కొంచెం ఫ్యాక్చువల్గా ఉంటుంది. కానీ ఏన్షియంట్ అనేది టెంప్లెట్ ప్రకారంగా చదువుకుంటే యూ కెన్ ఈజీలీ మాస్టర్ ఏన్షియంట్. Okay, fine. For next is Vishnukundis were known for their justice system. Their justice system loyalty was very important for kings. They gave lot of focus on loyalty, and also the administration was more of people welfare. It was more of people's welfare. The administration was more of people's welfare. And they constructed many forts. Many forts. Why did they construct many forts? To protect the kingdom. To protect the kingdom. To protect the kingdom. Some of the important forts are Indrakiladri, then Kisaragutta, and they have also constructed many Shaiva temples. Kisaragutta, Ramalingeshwara Swami temple near Nagar. All these are belonging to Vishnukundi time. They constructed many temples, especially of Shaiva. So, especially of Shaivism. Coming to the next part, what are the economic aspects? Again, they also collected land revenue. They also collected land revenue. Okay, land revenue. During their age, the concept of agraharas came into prominence. They were exempted from tax system. So what do you infer from this society? What are agraharas? Brahman colonies. So if they are exempted from tax, what do you mean by that? What is the social system like? Brahmins enjoyed the supremacy and they enjoyed good relationship with the kings. Okay? They enjoyed good relationship with the kings. They also carried foreign trade by using these ports. And the port of Motupalli port came into prominence during Vishnukundis. They conducted trade. Okay. In many ports of Vishnukundis, Roman gold coins are found. That means what? What does that mean? They had external trade, and the caste called Vaishyas, they performed internal and external trade. They also followed Varnashrama Dharma means professions based on the caste. Okay, profession based on the caste. And Brahmins and Kshatriyas enjoyed supreme authority in the society. So when we say they follow the Vaishnavism, what are the rulers' names? If you see, what are the ruling names? Madhava. Another is Madhavarma and Indravarma, and then Govindavarma. So who is this Madhava Govinda? Is he Shaiva? Who is Madhava and Govinda? He is nothing but Vishnu. So at one time we are saying they are Shaivites, and then their names are Madhava, Govinda. It resembles Vaishnavism. So what do you infer from that? Religious tolerance, okay. Another thing, what do you infer? At that time, there was these differences between Shaivites and Vaishnavites. So they have given patronage to both these subsects within Hinduism, that is Vaishnavism and Shaivism. So they have given equal importance to Vaishnavism and Shaivism. If you see, Vishnu Kundis are contemporaries of Guptas. అవునా కదా? మనకు నార్త్లో గుప్తా పీక్ ఉన్నప్పుడు సౌత్లో విష్ణు కుండీస్ ఉన్నారు. అండ్ గుప్తాస్ ఆర్ ప్రిడామినెంట్లీ వైష్ణవాస్. They gave a lot of importance to Vaishnavism. So obviously these people also must have given some importance or equal importance to Vaishnavism. That is what we are trying to infer. And their family deity was Parvata Swami. Parvata Swami. Who is this Parvata Swami? He is nothing but Sri Sailam Mallikarjuna. There was a prelims bit on him. Parvata Swami. Chenchu Ramaiah. That is actually wrong. Okay. Parvata Swami is Sri Sailam Mallanna or Mallikarjuna to be exact word. Okay, Sri Sailam Mallikarjuna was called Parvata Swami, and this Parvata Swami was their family deity. And they also gave lot of grants to Buddhist and Jainist monks. So again shows the religious tolerance. So basically simple ga bottom line lo cheppalante ancient dynasties enni unnayo anni kuda religious tolerance undi. Avuna andaru kuda Buddhism ki Jainism ki edo oka grant icharu, adi chesaru, idi chesaru. So they are all religious tolerant. So when it comes to the important literature and culture, we just now saw they promoted a school of learning, Vedic school of learning called Ghatika. Okay, so Ghatika is a Vedic school of learning. They established many Vedic schools of learning. That is very, very important as far as Vishnu Kundis are concerned. And the king who actually established many Vedic schools is Indra Bhattaraka Varma. You can write that. Indra Bhattaraka Varma. Indra Bhattaraka Varma is the king who established many schools of learning. Indra Bhattaraka Varma. Vikramendra Varma I, he himself is called as Mahakavi. Vikramendra Varma I is called as Mahakavi. And one of the very famous architectural construction of Vishnu Kundis is near the present day Vijayawada, called as Undavalli Caves. Undavalli Caves. Undavalli Caves. It's a very, very prominent architectural construction. Okay. These are rock cut constructions. Undavalli Caves is a rock cut construction. And these were predominantly constructed during Mahendra Varma time. Predominantly constructed during Mahendra Varma time. They were predominantly constructed during Mahendra Varma time. Is it clear? Just a couple of minutes for Vishnu Kundis also. So one more thing in your first chapter is Buddhism and Jainism. I am skipping that because we have done some part of Buddhism and Jainism in our ancient India, and with regard to Buddhism and Jainism in our Telangana history, it is more about the famous Buddhist sites. Okay, it's more of factual thing like Nelakondapalli, Nagarjunakonda, okay, and some sites in Nalgonda district. And then when you come to Jainist sites, you call it as Kolanapaka Jain temples, okay, near what is it? Aler. It is near Aler. Kolanapaka Jain temples are very old and famous temples. They are near the Aler. Okay, Aler falls in between Hyderabad and Warangal. Okay, so there Kolanapaka Jain temples are there, and they have given lot of grants to Buddhism and Jainism, and the present day Nagarjunakonda, okay, which is almost on the border of Telangana and Andhra, on which the Nagarjuna Sagar Dam itself is built. So all these are important Buddhist sites. So for Buddhism and Jainism question in Telangana, you will definitely get one question. ఒక క్వశ్చన్ పక్కా వస్తుంది, ఎందుకంటే అది రిలీజియస్ అండ్ కల్చరల్ ఆస్పెక్ట్ కాబట్టి పక్కా వస్తుంది. సో దానికి మీరు చేయాల్సింది ఏంటంటే బుద్ధిజం సైట్స్, జైనిజం సైట్స్, దాన్ని మన బుద్ధిజం అండ్ జైనిజం ఏదైతే ఆరిజిన్ మాట్లాడామో దాంతో ఇంటిగ్రేట్ చేసుకోండి. అర్థమైందా? ఏన్షియంట్ హిస్టరీలో ఏదైతే బుద్ధిజం అండ్ జైనిజం ఉందో దట్ ఈస్ దేర్. సో దే ఆర్ సేయింగ్ బుద్ధిజం అండ్ రైజ్ ఆఫ్ బుద్ధిజం అండ్ జైనిజం అంటున్నారు. సో దే have not said specific to Telangana or specific to India, but the rise of Buddhism and Jainism are same for pan India level. So with regard to Telangana, what will be your value addition is sites or the scholars or the kings. So if you take Shatavahanas, Gautamiputra Satakarni, okay, and then Vasishthaputra Pulamavi, all these people have given lot of grants. And when you come to Ikshvakus, you had we had Veerapurusha Datta, okay, and then Rudrapurusha Datta. These people have given lot of grants. And then here Indra Bhattaraka, okay, Govinda Varma, Madhav Varma too. All these people have given lot of grants to Buddhism and Jainism. So basically Buddhism and Jainism anedi you will definitely try to know the moment you will you integrate it with the ancient Indian history. Okay, then isolated ga chadavakandi. If you read it isolatedly, you will feel it slightly tough, but you can always say that Buddhism and Jainism, the rise of Buddhism, rise of Jainism, spread of Buddhism, spread of Jainism is same across India. Telangana specific sites gaani, kings gaani chadukondi. Okay, that is very important. So just take 2 minutes for Vishnu Kundis before we move to one important topic. We'll try to finish off Kakatiyas today. Kakatiyas finish అయిపోయిందంటే నెక్స్ట్ కుతుబ్ షాహీస్ మెడివల్ అయిపోతుంది. Okay, fine. Ancient done. Anything you want to ask online guys before we move on? Why I am intentionally breaking is I just want you people to reflect on the notes or whatever you are reading or writing. Just sorry, if you brush through, if there are any gaps which you feel are there, we can definitely address them. Or you want any specific points or any content or that sort. So theme basis lo చదవండి. ఏన్షియంట్ తెలంగాణ హిస్టరీ కూడా థీమ్ బేసిస్లో మనం అనుకున్న ఏదైతే 7-8 పారామీటర్స్ ఉన్నాయో ఆ పారామీటర్స్లో ఇఫ్ యూ రీడ్ ది బుక్స్ యూ కెన్ ఈజీలీ రిమెంబర్ మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది అండ్ యాక్చువల్లీ ఏంటంటే 3 క్లోజ్ ఉండడంతో కొన్నిసార్లు కన్ఫ్యూజింగ్ కూడా ఉంటుంది. లైక్ కాకతీయస్ అండ్ కుతుబ్ షాహీస్ అంటే కంప్లీట్లీ కాంట్రాస్టింగ్ కదా. వన్ ఈజ్ హిందూ డైనాసిటీ, వన్ ఈజ్ ముస్లిం డైనాసిటీ. సో దేర్ ఆర్ నాట్ మెనీ థింగ్స్ విచ్ ఆర్ సో సిమిలర్ ఆర్ కామన్. ఓకే, అండ్ దెన్ ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ యూ సీ ద నిజామ్స్, ది కుతుబ్ షాహీస్కి నిజామ్స్కి కూడా చాలా డిఫరెన్స్ ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, బికాస్ నిజామ్స్ ఆర్ రూలింగ్ డ్యూరింగ్ ద టైమ్ ఆఫ్ బ్రిటిష్. సో మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ దర్ పాలసీస్, మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ థింగ్ ఆర్ actually imposed or impacted by British. Qutub Shahis చూస్తే most of the things are borrowed from Bahmanis because they are nothing but a part of Bahmani once upon a time. ఓకే, సో అట్లా మెడివల్లో మీకు కొంచెం స్ప్రెడ్ ఉంది, డైనాసిటీస్ ఒకటేసారి లేదు. ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే 3 పక్కన ఉన్నాయి. శాతవాహనస్ తర్వాత ఇక్ష్వాకుస్, ఇక్ష్వాకుస్ తర్వాత విష్ణుకుండిస్. సో ఈ 3 ఒక్కటే వచ్చేటప్పటికి కొన్ని మైనర్ డిఫరెన్సెస్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో అవి తెలుసుకోవాలి. ఒక ఈ పీరియడ్లో ఉన్నది ఆ పీరియడ్లో లేనిది ఏంటి, ఆ పీరియడ్లో ఈ పీరియడ్లో ఉన్నది ఏంటి. సో దట్ కంపారిజన్ ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్, ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ దే ఆర్ ఆస్కింగ్ యూ యాజ్ ఎ హోల్, ఇఫ్ దే ఆర్ ఆస్కింగ్ యూ వన్ క్వశ్చన్ యాజ్ ఎ హోల్ ఫ్రమ్ ఏన్షియంట్, like if they ask a question on both Satavahanas and Vishnukundis, still you will be in a better position to answer because you have already compared what is what. అర్థమైందా? ఆ కంపారిజన్, ఆ క్లారిటీ పెట్టుకోండి, రైట్? సో నెక్స్ట్, before we close our class today, we'll try to complete the most important part of the syllabus, which is nothing but Kakatiyas. Okay, of course, Kakatiyas were very important topic when previous government is there, but irrespective of government, Kakatiyas are always important because lot of Telangana history is dependent on them. Avuna? Lot of things we borrow from Kakatiyas. So కాకతీయస్, ఎవరి కాకతీయులు? సో దే ఆర్ ది మెడివల్ కింగ్డమ్ ఆఫ్ తెలంగాణ సొసైటీ. వాట్ ఈస్ ది ఆరిజిన్ ఆఫ్ కాకతీయస్? వాట్ ఈస్ ది ఆరిజిన్ ఆఫ్ కాకతీయస్? కాకతీయస్ ఆరిజిన్ ఏంటి? ఫ్యూడేటరీస్ of whom? Feudatories of both Rashtrakutas and Chalukyas. So how do we know that they are both the feudatories of Rashtrakutas and Chalukyas? సో ఇక్కడ అందరికి కన్ఫ్యూజన్ వస్తుంది, ఓహో కాకతీయస్ ఆర్ ఫ్యూడేటరీస్ కదా, సో రాష్ట్రకూటాస్ కూడా మన సిలబస్లో ఉందా అని. ఉందా? లేదు కదా. సో రాష్ట్రకూటాస్ అండ్ చాళుక్యాస్, హౌ డు వి నో దట్ దే ఆర్ ఫ్యూడేటరీస్ ఆఫ్ రాష్ట్రకూటాస్ అండ్ చాళుక్యాస్? వెరీ గుడ్. సింబల్స్ నుంచి ఎట్లా తెలుస్తుంది? ఇనిషియల్ సింబల్ ఏంటి కాకతీయాస్ది? దే ఇనిషియల్లీ యూజ్డ్ గరుడ సింబల్. గరుడ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ అ సింబల్ ఆఫ్ రాష్ట్రకూటాస్. నెక్స్ట్ చాళుక్యాస్ అప్పటికి వచ్చేటప్పటికి వరాహ. సో ఇఫ్ ఎ డైనాసిటీ ఈజ్ యూజింగ్ 2 different symbols, that means at different points of time it was a feudatory of, okay, and we all know political lineage నేను ఎక్కువ మాట్లాడట్లేదు because first phase of Kakatiyas is before this first Prataparudra, okay, also called as Rudradeva. Okay, before Rudradeva they were all the feudatories of these 2 kingdoms. Independence లేదు వాళ్ళకి. ఓన్లీ 1158 లో హనుమకొండ శాసనంలో our Rudradeva proclaims independence. So first time, okay, the Kakatiyas have declared independence under Rudradeva. Rudradeva is also called as Prataparudra I, తెలుసు కదా. Okay, so he is also called as Prataparudra I. So when did he proclaim independence? 1158 CV at Hanmakonda inscription. Where is this Hanmakonda inscription? Ekkadundandi? It is in 1000 Pillar Temple. Very, very important. Here he proclaims independence. Evaru? Rudradeva. Rudradeva has proclaimed independence at 1000 Pillar Temple, and there is a famous inscription called Hanmakonda inscription. Okay, obviously the moment Hanmakonda inscription, it becomes one of the source for Kakatiya history. Okay, so one of the sources for Kakatiya history is your Hanmakonda inscription. Okay, one of the source for Kakatiya history is your Hanmakonda inscription, and one more source is Bayaram inscription. Bayaram inscription. Who has written? Mailamba. Evari Mailamba? She is sister of Ganapati Deva. She is sister of Ganapati Deva. So Bayaram inscription is there, sister of Ganapati Deva. Okay, and one more famous inscription is Motupalli and Malkapuram inscriptions. Motupalli and Malkapuram inscriptions. Motupalli and Malkapuram. These are both written by Ganapati Deva himself. Ganapati Deva. Motupalli and Motupalli and Malkapuram inscriptions. Okay, and Tripurantakam inscription. Evaradi? Rudramadevi. Tripurantakam inscription. Tripurantakam inscription and Kolunapalli inscription. So Tripurantakam inscription, Tripurantakam by Rudramadevi, and Kolunapalli by Prataparudra II, the last famous ruler of Kakatiya dynasty. Okay, so these are inscriptions. We know a lot of issues or lot of information about Kakatiyas also from the literature. Kakatiyas the main ఏంటంటే sources and literature బాగా solid గా మనకి grip ఉండాలి. Then you can use them in your answers. ఎందుకంటే కాకతీయ ఆన్సర్స్ చాలా మంది రాసేస్తారు. మన ఆన్సర్స్ కొంచెం డిఫరెంట్గా ఉండాలా, కొంచెం స్పెషల్గా ఉండాలి అంటే సోర్సెస్, లిటరేచర్లో both Telugu and Sanskrit literature are there. One of that first literature is Prataparudriyam, or it is also called as Prataparudra Yashobhushanam. Who has written this? It was your prelims bit, right? So Vidya, first is Prataparudra Yashobhushanam. Written by Vidyanatha, right? Okay. Prataparudriyam or Prataparudra Yashobhushanam, written by Vidyanatha. It was written in Sanskrit. Next is Kridabhiramam. Kridabhiramam, written by Vinugonda Vallabhacharya. Vinugonda Vallabhacharya. It is written in Telugu. Panditaradhya Charitam, written by Palakurki Somanatha. Very, very important amma ivanni sources. Panditaradhya Charitam. Panditaradhya Charitam written by Palakurki Somanatha. Again, this is also in Telugu. Panditaradhya Charitam. Shivayoga Saram. Shivayoga Saram. It is written by Kolanu Ganapati Deva. Shivayoga Saram, Kolanu Ganapati Deva. Next is Nutya Ratnavali. Yavara Saradi. Jayapi Senani. Nutya Ratnavali. Nutya Ratnavali. Jayapa Senani. Jayapa Senani. Niti Saram. Evara sir Niti Saram? Baddena. Niti Saram written by Baddena. Niti Saram, again famous. Niti Saram by Baddena. Niti Saram by Baddena. Andhra Mahabharatam and Nirvacha Ramayanam. These both are written by Tikkana Somayaji. Andhra Mahabharatam and Nirvacha Ramayanam. And Nirvachana Ramayanam, both are written by Tikkana Somayaji. Why these are important? Endukante anni books lo there is mention of Kakatiyas. Hence, if the examiner is asking what is the literary contribution of Kakatiyas, simple, iyanni raseshna ayipotadu. Because Kakatiya time lo the Telugu language was very well developed, and you see most of them are in Telugu language. Okay, so that is one of the major thing. Okay, apart from this, because Kakatiyas were contemporaries of Delhi Sultanate, avuna kada? And we also know that Alauddin Khalji Gani, Muhammad bin Tughlaq Gani, they have invaded and they have defeated Kakatiyas multiple times. So the foreigners, the Islam travelers also visited Kakatiya kingdom. Yes, Islam travelers also visited Kakatiya kingdom. Apart from, there are inscriptions of Kakatiyas where they have mentioned about many particular activities and many constructions taken up by them. Okay, like the fort construction by Ganapati Deva, and then the Cheru, they used to call it as Cheru. The tanks they used to call as Cherus. Construction by Rudramadevi, and how she has made her fort invincible. So all these things are mentioned in your inscriptions of Kakatiyas. Okay, so the first major famous ruler of Kakatiya was as sovereign king. He is named as Rudradeva or Prataparudra I. Rudradeva or Prataparudra I. So Rudradeva kuda two phases unnai. One phase as a feudatory. That phase is between 1158 to 62 and from 63 to 95. So 1158 to 62, from 63 to 95, two phases. So 63 to 95 is basically the independent phase of Rudradeva. Okay, he was a great ruler, and also he built the Kakatiya Empire. He built the Kakatiya Empire. And his greatness is mentioned at Draksharamam inscription. Draksharamam inscription. Kakatiyas ఎందుకు ఇంపార్టెంట్ అంటే కాకతీయాస్కి వచ్చేటప్పటికి you have lot of resources and literature. Okay, so try to confine and combine all those things about Kakatiyas in certain space where you have a specific notes, and our notes in multiple times revise చేయండి. Then you'll have lot of command on whatever terminology or names we are using. When you have lot of grip on that names, your answer will make much more sense, and you can beautify your answers by using this kind of things. Avuna? But obviously if a question is on Prataparudra, there is something from Prataparudra Yashobhushanam which is mentioned about Prataparudra. You can write that. So all these things you have to be smart. If you know the resources, if you know the inscriptions, if you know the sources of history, you can mention them as part of your answers. Okay, then coming to he died in the hands of Yadavas. Evaru? Rudradeva. He died in the hands of Yadavas. Again in the Deccan, there was this tussle between Yadavas and Kakatiyas. He died in the hands of Yadavas. Okay. After Rudradeva came Mahadeva. He was for very little time, he was brother of Rudradeva. But after Rudradeva, the major and one of the greatest ever kings of medieval Telangana came into picture. His name is Ganapati Deva. Ganapati Deva. He was one of the famous and probably the greatest ever kings from 1199 up to 1263. Ganapati Deva. (1262 or 1263). He was the greatest rulers among all the Kakatiyas. Among all the Kakatiyas, if you have to name one greatest ruler, it was Mr. Ganapati Deva. Okay, when his father Mahadeva lost battle against Yadavas, this Ganapati Deva was imprisoned in the court of Yadava kingdom. But the Yadava king liked him, and he has released Ganapati Deva. Okay, he has released Ganapati Deva, and he came back to Warangal and proclaimed the throne of Kakatiyas. Okay, and this Yadava king was so impressed that he gave his daughter and got married to Ganapati Deva. Okay, so mainly the Ganapati Deva was a very, very famous empire builder. Famous empire builder. And one more thing is, the legend says that Ganapati Deva has never lost any war. Only war he has lost is against that Pandyas, Jati Varman, and then he dies because of depression. So that was the greatness of Ganapati Deva. So he was a great empire builder. And he fought the war with Jatavarman Sundar Pandya. So he faced Jatavarman Sundar Pandya in a war. Okay, initially he defeated Pandya, but when he came back, so this Jatavarman Sundar Pandya has made a comeback like Hardik Pandya. Okay, and he defeated Ganapati Deva. Okay, he defeated Ganapati Deva, and where did war happen? This tussle between these two happened at Draksharamam. Draksharamam. Okay, this tussle between these two happened at Draksharamam, and finally he lost. Okay, so he lost. Initially he defeated Jatavarman Sundarapandya, and in the next encounter at Nellore, this Jatavarman Sundarapandya came well prepared and he defeated Ganapati Deva, and because of this defeat he handed over his reigns, that is kingdom, to his daughter called Rudrama Devi. Okay, so that is about Ganapati Deva and his greatness. And after Ganapati Deva came Rudrama Devi. After Ganapati Deva came Rudrama Devi. She is also one of the greatest rulers of Kakatiya kingdom. Okay, during Rudrama Devi, one foreign visitor called Marco Polo visited the Kakatiya kingdom, and in his records there is mention of Kakatiya Empire. And this Marco Polo says that Rudrama Devi and the Kakatiyas have used this Motupalli port for trade purposes. Motupalli port was their go-to port, okay, for trade purposes. She has suppressed the rebellion from her brothers, because we know it's a medieval age, medieval Telangana age, and the issue is about the women empowerment and the gender bias. It was very prevalent. It was a very patriarchal society. So suddenly, daughter of Ganapati Deva, Rudrama Devi, is coming into picture, and Ganapati Deva trusted his daughter to take up the reigns of his kingdom. So Harihara and Murari, both the brothers of Rudrama Devi, tried to revolt against her leadership. So she, with the help of Gona Ganna Reddy and others, she has suppressed this revolt. She has suppressed this revolt with the help of Gona Ganna Reddy. Okay, but there was this ruler called Ambadeva. He was very, very dangerous threat to Kakatiya kingdom. Okay, so when this Rudrama Devi was fighting Ambadeva, she lost her life. So Ambadeva has defeated Rudrama Devi. He has defeated Rudrama Devi, and she lost her life in fighting the Ambadeva. Okay, since Ambadeva is the ruler of Kadapa. He was a ruler of Kadapa. He defeated Rani Rudrama Devi, and she lost her life in this battle against Ambadeva. Then came the most important and one of the important and final kings of Kakatiya kingdom, is nothing but Prataparudra II. Prataparudra II, he ruled from 1290 from 1323. ఇక్కడ నేను డేట్స్ ఎందుకు రాస్తున్నా అంటే, సార్ మీరు ఏన్షియంట్లో డేట్లో పెట్టలేదు, ఇక్కడ మెడివల్లో పెడతాను, ఎందుకంటే గుర్తుండాలి. ఓకే, ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ 1290 1323 గుర్తుండకపోయినా, ఇఫ్ యూ రిమెంబర్ in what period these people ruled. So when we are saying Alauddin Khalji and Muhammad bin Tughlaq, both of them have invaded Kakatiya empire annappudu, you can see the timeline. Ardhamainda? So initially this particular Prataparudra was, he first defeated Ambadeva. This Ambadeva who defeated Rudramadevi, Prataparudra defeated this fellow and first ensured that his kingdom is safe. Okay, he first ensured that the kingdom is safe. And to strengthen the army, he has strengthened the army. He strengthened the army, and he appointed army leaders called Nayakas. He appointed army leaders called Nayakas. Okay, so in 1303, first time, 1303, the Turkish invasion happened on Prataparudra. 1303, so first Turkish invasion happened. So Prataparudra defeated this fellow also. This invasion was sent by the then king Alauddin Khalji. So first time in 1303, Prataparudra defeated them. And in 1310, under a general called Malik Kafur, Alauddin Khalji has sent one more brigade against Prataparudra. This brigade defeated Prataparudra. So 1310 lo first time Prataparudra has lost the battle against the Delhi Sultanate, and in return Prataparudra had to sign lot of peace clauses, sending money per annum, recognizing the sovereignty of Alauddin Khalji, so and so forth. So once Alauddin Khalji died, he did not pay this particular annual fee, whatever he has to pay, because when he was defeated with Alauddin Khalji, he has agreed to pay some money, but when Alauddin Khalji died, he stopped paying money. So when this fellow again, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, in 1321, he attempted to defeat Prataparudra. He failed. 1321, he attempted to defeat Prataparudra. He failed. And finally in 1323, Muhammad bin Tughlaq sent his big brigade to defeat Prataparudra, and finally Prataparudra, he is taken as a prisoner and he dies en route Delhi, and that is the end of the great Kakatiya kingdom. And of course many people say that Prataparudra death is a curse of the Samakka Saraka, because he has gone there and tried to extract the tax from those tribal society. So when it is said that Samakka has cursed Prataparudra, because you know that, right? During his time only this particular thing happened. So and they say that it's a curse of Samakka, and that is the reason Prataparudra has died this kind of death. So one major important aspect of Kakatiya is, okay, now we have seen the political lineage. For some time we will discuss about Kakatiya kingdom and their kind of impact on literature. Already we have seen. So one major takeaway of Kakatiya is their extensive focus on tank irrigation, and tanks they called it as samudrams. We can see that there is extensive focus on this tank irrigation during Kakatiya time. Avuna? And especially during the rule of Ganapati Deva and Rani Rudramadevi, they have focused on tank irrigation. We can know some of the major important tanks like Bayaram tank, and then Ramappa tank. So they constructed tanks because probably they were one of those important kingdoms which knew the importance of Telangana geography, which is having hard stone underneath, so you cannot have digging easily, and that's the reason they wanted to go with this tank irrigation. Okay, and then this Ramappa tank, who has built this Ramappa tank? Recharla Rudra, who also built the Ramappa temple, and he is the Recharla Rudra. Recharla Rudra was very important person on whom Ganapati Deva had lot of trust, because when Ganapati Deva was imprisoned, it was the lobbying of Recharla Rudra which has enabled him to come out and take over the throne of Varangal. Okay. So whoever farmer used the tank irrigation facility, they had to pay 1/10 of the fee. 1/10 of the fee. 1/10 of the fee. Okay. They even built tanks like Pakala Cheruvu. You can write those names: Pakala Cheruvu, Hanmakonda Cheruvu, Pakala Cheruvu, Hanmakonda Cheruvu, Laknavaram, Cheruvu. Yeah. Coming to the administration of Kakatiyas. Administration of Kakatiyas. What do you think would be the administration of Kakatiyas? So they basically followed Raja Dharma. Raja Dharma means justice. King is always following the path of Dharma. Okay. And then they had this kingdom divided into mandalas. Kingdom was divided into mandalas. The kingdom was divided into mandalas. Okay, and from the time of Prataparudra too, we have seen that they have now decentralized the power. Yes or no? How we know that? Appointment of Nayakas. So basically, up to Prataparudra too, the kingdom was centralized. After that, they have decentralized the power by the appointment of Nayakas. And they believed in bottom top approach. So it was, so from this what you can infer? Kakatiya was a centralized system or no, decentralized system? Decentralized. So they have empowered the Nayakas. They are now believing in the bottom top approach. Okay. They believed in the council of ministries, or they appointed officials called Amatyas. Okay, Amatyas. And also there are a lot of feudatories of Kakatiyas. Okay, lot of feudatories of Kakatiyas. Okay, and also at village levels, the head were called as Ayyagars. You can see a similar setup during Vijayanagara also. Again, you see contemporary kingdoms, right? Even in Vijayanagara system, you will see the Nayakar system. ఎందుకంటే చూడండి ఇక్కడ ప్రతాపరుద్ర 1323లో చనిపోయాడు, అది కూడా 1330s ఎప్పుడో స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది విజయనగర కింగ్డమ్. సో అక్కడి నుంచి 1500 దాకా వెళ్తుంది. సో ఎప్పుడైతే కింగ్డమ్స్ కంటిన్యూటీ ఉంటాయో, ది మోర్ ఆర్ లెస్ ది అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటివ్ సిస్టమ్ అండ్ ద సోషో కల్చరల్ ఆస్పెక్ట్స్ ఆల్సో will be more or less continued. Please try to understand. ఓకే, హిస్టరీ ఇట్లా చదివితేనే అర్థమవుతుంది. హిస్టరీకి ఒక కంటిన్యూటీ పెట్టుకొని చదివితే మంచిగా అర్థమవుతుంది అండ్ యూ విల్ ఫీల్ వెరీ కాన్ఫిడెంట్. ఓకే, ఎగ్జామ్లో ఎటువంటి క్వశ్చన్ అడిగినా యూ విల్ బీ ఏబుల్ టు డూ జస్టిస్ వితౌట్ స్పీకింగ్ ఎనీ irrelevant points. Okay, and then their judicial system, okay, was as per dharma shastras. Judicial system was as per dharma shastras, and they considered the opinion of village heads while giving punishments. They considered the opinion of village heads while giving the punishments. Okay, yeah. Next is the social conditions. Next is the social conditions. So what are the social conditions? So there were a lot of religions and intermixture of religions was happening. Okay, basically lot of religions and their intermixture. So the society was slightly on complex side. Okay, society was slightly complex side. Okay, there is a lot of religion and intermixture. So because of this jati system, okay, by the time we came to medieval India, we know that there is a lot of jati system. So lot of caste, subcaste started developing. Okay, మీరు చూస్తే there is lot of factual information on the subcaste during Kakatiya period. Okay, but what you can say is there is lot of prevalence of caste system, lot of caste system during Kakatiyas, and it is caste based occupation, caste system, and which is resulting into caste based occupation, caste based occupations during Kakatiyas. Okay, so basically there were not many Kshatriyas in South India. Okay, even before Kakatiyas also the rulers were not Kshatriyas. So historians are of the opinion that the Kakatiyas are not Kshatriya clan. After coming to the power, someone like Ganapati Deva proclaimed that they are Kshatriyas. Okay, so that again shows that now from this what you can infer, tell me, దీంట్లో నుంచి ఏం చెప్పచ్చు మనం? లోవర్ కాస్ట్ గాట్ ఎంపవర్డ్, సింపుల్, అంతే ఉంటుంది. సో దట్స్ వాట్. సో లోవర్ caste got empowered. So when the working class itself is lower caste and they proclaimed themselves as Kshatriyas, that means there is definitely some movement within the caste system pyramid. So people from bottom are going top, from top they are moving on. So there is definitely the caste system is not static there, it is dynamic. Okay, and because of too many religions there was lot of religious conflicts. Okay, religious conflicts. And there was a literary contribution from the lower caste people also, that we come to know from Molla Ramayanam. You heard this? Molla Ramayanam, when Molla, a woman who belonged to depressed classes, has written Ramayanam, this was objected by the Brahmin class. They said it is not correct. And since there are so many caste and caste based occupations, there are lot of caste unions and they are called as Samakyas. Caste unions called Samakyas are there, Samakyas. The caste unions were called as Samakyas. Okay, and caste based this thing, and women, though the ruler herself was women at one point of time, Rudramadevi, but women's situation was very, very bad. There was polygyny and also sati system which prevailed very, very much during the Kakatiya period. Kakatiya period, and people were like the drinking was very much common. Drinking was very much common. Okay, in that society. By the time of Kakatiyas, when it comes to religion, a new type of sect came into picture. What is that? Very good. Veerashaivism. Veerashaivism came into picture, and we know that Panditatrayam. Okay, what is that Panditatrayam? Sripati, Shivalenka Manchanna, and Mallikarjuna Pandita Raju. You know that, right? You know the Panditatrayam. It was asked in previous year prelims also. అంటే ఎన్ని ప్రిలిమ్స్ రాస్తారో తెలియదు మీరు, కానీ ప్రతి ప్రిలిమ్స్లో అయితే కొత్త కొత్త క్వశ్చన్లు వస్తున్నాయి. హోప్ఫుల్లీ ఫర్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ, మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ యూ అని కూడా చెప్పాను, ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ, దిస్ విల్ బి ద లాస్ట్ గ్రూప్ 1 ప్రిలిమ్స్. అంటే అందరూ మెయిన్స్ క్వాలిఫై అవ్వాలని అనుకుంటున్నా. ఓకే, ప్రిలిమ్స్లో ఫుల్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్ అయిపోతారు. ఇక ఇన్ని ప్రిలిమ్స్ రాసి ఆల్రెడీ యూ రిటర్న్ 450 ప్రిలిమ్స్, అంటే 450 బిట్స్, 150 + 150 + 150. ఓకే, ఇంకోటి రాస్తే ఇక పేపర్ వాళ్ళని పక్క జరిపి మనమే సెట్ చేస్తాము. మీరు అడిగేది ఏంటి సార్, మీకంటే టఫ్గా మేమే చేస్తాము. నౌ వీ హ్యావ్ 3 different levels, రైట్? టఫెస్ట్, ఇంటర్మీడియట్ అండ్ ఈజీ. సో నౌ ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ యు ఆర్ ఇన్ ఎ బెటర్ పొజిషన్ టు సెట్ ద పేపర్. ఇప్పుడు ఎట్లా కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ ఎక్కువ లేవు, కాంగ్రెస్ గవర్నమెంట్ వచ్చి 6-7 months అయింది. సో మిగతా హిస్టరీలో ఆల్రెడీ బిట్స్ చూశారు, జాగ్రఫీ బిట్స్ చూశారు, ఇంకా పాన్ ఇండియాలో ఎట్లా అడుగుతున్నాడో తెలుసు. కాంట్ ఏముంది, ఈజీగా పెట్టేయచ్చు, అయిపోయా. యూ కెన్ మేక్ ఎ పేపర్ నౌ. హోప్ఫుల్లీ ఇఫ్ ఈజ్ అగైన్ డూయింగ్ ఇట్, బట్ లెట్స్ హోప్. some students message me that this week results may come. Is there any hope of that? హోప్ ఉందా, లేకపోతే మళ్ళీ 1:100, 1:50 మధ్యలోనే కొట్టుకుంటున్నారా? ఈజ్ దర్ ఎనీ కాంక్రీట్ న్యూస్? ఓఎంఆర్ అయితే పెట్టేసినట్టున్నాడు కదా. ఓఎంఆర్ పెట్టాడు, మరి ఫైనల్కి ఇచ్చాడా? ఫైనల్కి ఇవ్వలేదు. ఓ, దట్ ఈస్ ద రూమరా? ఓకే, గుడ్. Till the result comes, we are all entitled to speculate and give rumor. Good. Anyhow, let's hope they will give soon. ఒక్కసారి ప్రిలిమ్స్ రిజల్ట్ ఇచ్చాడు అనుకో బై ఛాన్స్ ఈ వీక్లో, దట్ మీన్స్ యూ కెన్ బీ రెస్ట్ అష్యూర్డ్ దట్ ఈస్ వెరీ సీరియస్. ఇప్పుడు జనరల్లీ ఎట్లా ఉంటుందంటే, థంబ్ రూల్, ప్రిలిమ్స్కి మెయిన్స్కి మధ్యలో 100 days అయినా గ్యాప్ ఉండాలి. ఐ టోల్డ్ యూ దిస్ రైట్ ఇన్ ద లాస్ట్ క్లాస్ ఆల్సో. జనరల్గా నార్మ్స్ ప్రకారంగా 100 days అన్న 100 days to 3 months గ్యాప్ ఉండాలి. సో 21st October అనుకోండి, మనకి ఆల్రెడీ డేట్స్ ఇచ్చాడు, అనుకోవడం ఏంటి, ఇచ్చేసాడు. సో July 21st ఇస్ అ కట్ ఆఫ్. అది దాటలేడు, బట్ July 21st లోపల మీరు నెక్స్ట్ స్టేజ్ ఫిల్ చేయడం అంతా ఉంటుంది. మెయిన్స్కి మళ్ళీ ఫిల్ చేయాలి, ఏదేదో ఉంటుంది. సో అట్లీస్ట్ మీకు దానికి ఒక 1 week టైం ఇవ్వాలి, అవునా? సో ముందుకు రండి. July 14th ఈజ్ ద అప్పర్ కట్ ఆఫ్ ఫర్ అనౌన్సింగ్ యువర్ రిజల్ట్స్. July 14th ఈజ్ ద అప్పర్ కట్ ఆఫ్, అంటే అది దాటకూడదు. అది దాటుతుందంటే ఏదో తేడా ఉన్నట్టు. ఓకే, 99% అది దాటదు. 99% అది దాటదు, నాకు తెలిసి దాటదు కూడా. ఓకే, July 14 to 20th మ్యాక్సిమం, ఇంకా అంతకన్నా దాటదు. ఎందుకంటే మీకు ఈరోజు చాలా మంది అంటున్నారు ఈరోజు సాయంత్రం ప్రిలిమ్స్ రిజల్ట్ వస్తుందని. యూపీఎస్సీ ఈరోజు ఈవినింగ్ రాశారు ఇక్కడ ఎవరండి? యూపీఎస్సీ రిజల్ట్ ఈరోజు సాయంత్రం వస్తుంది అంటున్నారు. సో ది ఎగ్జామ్ తర్వాత అయింది, ఎగ్జామ్ ముందు వస్తుంది. వెరీ గుడ్. 16th June అయింది, అది 15 రోజులు అయిపోయాయి. ఇది 9th June అయింది ఆల్రెడీ. ఇప్పటికి ఇంకో వీక్ అయితే 1 month. సో మరి వాళ్ళకంత తొందరగా ఎట్లా అవుతుందో వీళ్ళకి అంత లేట్ అవుతుందో ఏం అర్థం కాదు. ఇంకా అక్కడ ఎక్కువ మంది రాసి ఉంటారు కదా, 5 లక్షల మంది రాసి ఉంటారు. ఓఎంఆర్లే కదా అవి కూడా. మన వాళ్ళు డిజిటల్గా ఏదన్నా ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్తో చేస్తారేమో తెలియదు. ఎనీహౌ, సో కమింగ్ బ్యాక్, economic system. Okay, economic system is, so this Veerashaivam as a religion came into picture. The official language was more of Sanskrit. Sanskrit became a very prominent language. It became a prominent language. It became a prominent language. Okay. Sanskrit became prominent language. And the economic system was mainly based on agriculture. The economy of Kakatiyas was mainly based on agriculture. And they had 2 types of land, wetland and dry land. What is this wetland called? Wetland was called as Magani and dry land was called as Metta lands. Okay, this wetland was called as Magani and this was called as Metta lands. So they mainly banked on agriculture. There was agriculture and then hence more efforts towards improving agriculture output. Tank irrigation gani, construction of tanks gani. So akkadi nunchi they wanted to extract maximum revenue. Okay, and Brahmins, as like in the medieval age, they enjoyed the exemption of land tax. Okay, so basically in the religion itself there was a composite culture. The initial feudatories of Kakatiyas were Jainism followers. Initial feudatories ante before Rudradeva I or the Prataparudra I. Okay, they gave importance to Jainism also, but Kakatiyas as kings were followers of Shaivism. Avuna kada? If you go to your Hanmakonda temple or if you go to Ramappa temple, the principal deity in the temple is Lord Shiva. అది కూడా చిన్నగా ఉండవు, విగ్రహాలు చాలా పెద్దగా ఉంటాయి లింగాలు. So very huge constructions. In fact, Ramappa Nandi also is very famous. Okay, so they have carved these particular inscriptions in a very huge styles. Okay, and during this time temples of Vishnu also, Vaishnavism also flourished. These are prelims bit idi. Both Shaiva and Vaishnava, Kakatiyas have patronized. Okay, built temples for Lord Vishnu also, like Channakesava temple. Channakesava temple Channakesava ante Vishnumurti. So we discussed about the literature. Now coming to the most important and the final part of Kakatiyas, which is the architecture. Okay, art and architecture. So when it comes to art, one famous dance is there with regard to Kakatiyas. What is that? Perini Shivatandavam. So it was basically a war dance. Perini Shivatandavam అనేది ఒక war dance. Okay, it is mentioned in Prataparudra Yashobhushanam also. So this Perini Shivatandavam is one of the art forms which now is borrowed by the Telangana government and it belongs to the Kakatiya period. And coming to the architecture, Kakatiyas followed, because of their masters, they followed Western Chalukyan style of architecture. వెస్టర్న్ చాళుక్యన్ స్టైల్ అంటే ఏం స్టైల్ అది ఇండియాలో? వెరీ గుడ్, వేసరా స్టైల్. వేసరా స్టైల్. వాట్ ఈస్ ద వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఆఫ్ వేసరా స్టైల్? స్టార్ బ్లేస్డ్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్. యువర్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ విల్ బి లైక్ దిస్. మీరు ఎనీ వేసరా దానికి వెళ్ళండి, విల్ బి లైక్ దిస్. స్టార్ బేస్డ్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్, హై రైజ్డ్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్, అండ్ యువర్ ప్రిన్సిపల్ డైటీ ఈస్ సిట్టింగ్ హియర్. సో హిస్టరీలో కొంతమంది అడిగారు, సార్ డయాగ్రామ్స్ వేయించండి. ఇట్లా వేసరా నగరా వచ్చినప్పుడు ఇట్లా వేయండి. దిస్ ఈజ్ నగరా స్టైల్. ద్రవిడ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఇట్లా వేయండి. So this is Dravida, main Vimana, okay, and then at the entrance you have some Gopurams. So okay, నేను చాలా రఫ్గా ఇస్తున్నా, but you can do it much better. Okay, so these kind of diagrams are okay, where you are giving an impression to the examiner that you understand what you are writing. This is something which is you can do in the examination hall. Okay, coming to the back, Vesara style. So it is a combination of నగారా అండ్ ద్రావిడ. ఈ రెండు కాంబినేషన్స్ కలిపితే వచ్చింది వేసరా. అయితే ఇన్ దిస్ వేసరా ఆల్సో కాకతీయ హ్యావ్ ఎ యూనిక్ స్టైల్ ఆఫ్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ విచ్ దే కాల్ ఇట్ యాజ్ త్రికూట టెంపుల్స్. ఈ త్రికూట టెంపుల్స్ అంటే ఏంటి? త్రీ ప్రిన్సిపల్ డైటీస్, అంటే ఒక ప్రిన్సిపల్ డైటీతో ఇంకో 2 డైటీస్. మేజర్లీ హూ ఆర్ ద డైటీస్? శివ, విష్ణు అండ్ సూర్య. గుడ్. And they have used lot of stone carvings. They have tried to depict the Puranas, Mahabharata, Ramayanas onto the temples. So they have used inscriptions, they have used the carvings, and they have also brought in a new style called as Trikuta style, which is mainly attributed to the Kakatiyas. Okay, we all know the famous Ramappa temple, which is now proclaimed as a UNESCO site. Okay, so very very important, Trikuta style. Okay, just take 2 minutes to revise what is there in Kakatiyas. Kakatiyas చాలా important. Okay, it's a very very important topic. So ancient history లో ఒక సింగిల్ టాపిక్ చేయాలంటే శాతవాహనాస్, మెడివల్ లో కాకతీయాస్, ఓకే, అండ్ మిగతాది కుతుబ్ షాహీస్. కుతుబ్ షాహీస్ మెయిన్లీ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇండో ఇస్లామిక్ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ and mainly their contribution to the literature, especially Telugu. So tomorrow we will be doing Qutub Shahis, Nizams, and then some social movements like especially Bhagyareddy Verma period. So konni important adjesi we will try to close it. So today already the questions are posted. You please go back and write them, and then we will possibly meet for discussion. Okay na? Okay, thank you.